All right, let's do what we said we were going to do. Let's grade the picks.
Yep.
It's early, but I want to do some grading. Grading is fun. Let's start with 2025. First pick, Michael Williams. Give me a letter grade, and I'll give you mine.
F. I don't care. F. Like, there were so many good players on the board. I said before the draft they should take Walter Nolan. Now, even if it wasn't Walter Nolan, you said Igbuka, Amari Hampton, like Jalen Walker, like James. There were so many. Anybody else would have been a better pick than Michael.
Yeah, if they were picking names out of a hat, they probably could have done better.
Exactly.
Yep.
But they loved his frame. They loved but they loved his frame.
And they loved his character, right? They talked about what a good guy he is. Whenever the second thing they say about a player is how good of a guy they is, bad sign. Bad sign.
They drafted Jalen Carter. They won a Super Bowl.
Solomon Thomas was also an all-time great guy. God, they wouldn't stop talking about how good of a guy he was.
They're playing decent now, which is crazy. Like years later.
Now that he's on his 8th team and people forgot where he was drafted. I was gonna give this guy a C. Just to be nice. I feel like the reason I said C instead of F is because F, I would like reserve that for like the Javon Kinlaws of the world, the guys who are like not only not worth the pick, but not even good players. I think he's a good player. I think you can see like how the run defense fell off without him. But yeah, man, I mean, there's like 8 guys at least they should have taken ahead of him. So giving this one a passing grade is me being as generous as possible. And you having the stones to give it an F makes me kind of jealous. I think you're cooler than me right now. Sorry.
I'm going to stand on it. Even if he gets 10
sacks
a single year, it's still an F to me. I don't think he's ever going to be a Pro Bowler.
Okay, Alfred Collins.
B-. He can stop the run. I like Alfred Collins. I don't think he was drafted around early, but it's also such a Niners pick because they always draft the guy around early anyways. So, like, I'll take that out of consideration. B-.
Yeah, he's a lot like Michael. Except he's actually big enough to play defensive tackle. Michael's a small defensive tackle. Collins a big defensive tackle. They both look like 2-down players to me, but at least Collins has a true position. And yeah, he seems like he's improving. A solid pick where you took him, although he was a bit of a reach. But if you can get a good 2-down starting D tackle in round 2, it's not bad.
Agreed. Well, what do you give him?
I give him a B. But again, I'm an easy grader. All right, Nick Martin.
I don't even think it's Nick Martin's fault. Okay, first off, before the draft, no one had Nick Martin even going in the top 6 rounds. 6. And they took him in round 3. I'm going to say I'm only going to give it a D- because not an F. I'll give it a D- because maybe Robert Saleh knows something that we don't, and eventually he'll become good. Like Tatum Bethune is okay. Like Tatum Bethune at the time was like, this guy stinks, and like now he's like decent. So like maybe Nick Martin eventually becomes okay.
I like that you're trying to be optimistic right now. F. I don't even know if he's gonna be on a team next year. It seems like they are not gonna put him on the field. And maybe it's because they have some master plan and they develop linebackers like they develop quarterbacks or something. But I think it's more likely that they think he's absolutely awful. And maybe they're wrong. Because they thought Upton Stout was going to be like Jalen Ramsey or something, and he's taking his time developing. But I'm going to take their word for it that he's truly the worst linebacker on the. I mean, they'll play safeties at linebacker over him. So until I get some evidence, I gotta say it's an F, man. Especially where they took him. Pick 75, you could have gotten an instant contributor, if not a future something Pro Bowler. So they could have had Scattaboo.
They could have gotten Ayumanner too.
Yeah, I'm going to say F. Upton Stout.
B. I think he'll be fine. He'll be good. You know what I like about him? If anything, he's a guy that'll like give his all for the team.
Hell yeah. Fearless.
That matters. Like the Niners do draft some of those guys that are like dogs that just give their all. I'll give him a B. I think he'll be a solid player.
I like him. He reminds me a lot of Jimmy Ward in the sense it's like, he's such a good football player. He's such a good athlete. What's his position? And with Jimmy Ward, they put him out of college at nickel, and he just wasn't. It's such a hard position to play. Zone, man, it's tough matchups. He got worked early in his career by Brandon Marshall, kind of got worked, like played out of that position. And eventually later on, the Niners figured out, he's a free safety. ended up being a damn good free safety. I wonder if Stout, it will be better suited to play free safety, because at that spot, you're not really in, man-to-man coverage as much, and your tackling is so important. He's such a good tackler. That's my one thought with Stout. If it doesn't work out at nickel, try him at free safety.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah.
I think he'll be a great player.
CJ West.
I'm going to give a B+. I like CJ West a lot, actually. I think he'll be good. I still think he'll be very good. He's big. He can stop the run. For a 4th round pick, that's like all you can ask for. He's undersized, I guess, but like, I like the pick at the time. I thought it was their best pick of the draft at the time. Maybe I was wrong about that. I think CJ West is going to turn into their best defensive tackle next year.
Ooh, I'm worried about CJ West. And here's why. I loved him when they picked him. I loved him in camp. He was the star of those one-on-one pass rush drills. But that's not really football. And I've seen offensive linemen and defensive linemen who can really excel in that drill and then do nothing in 11-on-11 real football. And I think the issue with West is his length. They compared him to DJ Jones. DJ Jones' arms are about an inch longer. An inch makes a big difference. His CJ West are at 31.5. That's a little bit below the threshold. I think most linemen he's facing are going to have longer arms than him, and it's going to be hard for him to disengage. So I had him at more of like...
I was just saying, when I say best defensive tackle on the roster next season, that's not a high bar.
No. I actually think Alfred Collins has some upside that CJ West doesn't have. We'll see about it, though. I gave West a D, but maybe I was just getting mean at this point. I like your argument for giving him a B+. Maybe we'll split the difference at C for now. Okay. Next pick was Jordan Watkins. He had a nice catch deep in the preseason. Got hurt. He has 2 catches this year. 2 catches. What do you think?
F. Why would you even draft a guy that Purdy's never going to use? Ever. It's just Danny Gray 2.0. Just hopefully getting a hit and run situation with Rashee Rice.
I forgot about that one. Yeah, he was in that. He was there. Yeah, he was. I gave this a C, and the only who did you give the benefit of the doubt to? Nick Martin. I'm giving the benefit of the doubt to Jordan Watkins because there was a stretch last year where Ricky Pearsall had 2 catches in 5 games, and he was just doing cardio on the field, running routes and doing a bunch of nothing. I think if you don't have Kyle Shanahan's entire offense absolutely memorized, he's not really going to call plays for you. So the fact that Jordan Watkins hasn't produced yet doesn't necessarily mean that he's Danny Gray, but it might be. It might mean. You can't really rule it out. I saw him in practice, and I thought he was better than Danny Gray ever was, but I'm not. You can't really judge football players in practice. It's not really football. It's like flag football. He's good at flag football.
It's not just that. Wasn't Torrey Horton available at this pick? Unless I'm crazy.
Oh, shit.
Yeah, maybe. There were other receivers that were very good available at this pick. And Jordan Watkins just seemed another pick a round too early or 2 rounds too early. He wasn't even the guy at Ole Miss. Trey Harris was.
That's true. And that's the thing. If you're gonna reach for a guy and take him a round or 2 too early, you better fucking play that guy right away and justify it right away. Otherwise, people are gonna be like, hey, what was that dumbass pick that you made that everyone told you not to make that you thought was super smart? You immediately changed your mind and we could have told you that. Like,
ridiculous.
That's why it's like you're sticking with Upton Stout. I get it. Not playing Nick Martin at all. Damn, he must suck. Because you have all the incentive in the world to show everyone else that they were wrong and you were right to take this guy. And they're like, no. Like, this is our secret.
Yeah.
Okay. Jordan James. This was the guy they got for trading Debo.
I'll be nice.
He's never played a snap, and I don't see how you give him. He's never played a snap. Give him an F.
It's not his fault.
It's not his fault. Roster politics.
We don't know how good he is. Like, he was good at Oregon.
He was. That's true. He could be Joe Williams, or he could be, I don't know, someone good.
He could be the anti-Elijah Mitchell, where he
be the anti-Elijah Mitchell.
The first few years and then never played again, and then it could be Jordan James doesn't play the first year and a half. But that doesn't really.
You know what really pissed me off? If Jordan James ended up being good, like, how are you going to go through more than half of a season with no running game and just have a good running back on your team? And you're like, we think he sucks. What do you mean you think he sucks? He might. It's like you haven't seen him
years.
He might be able to break tackles. Yeah, you can't judge these players in practice and meetings all the time. And it was funny, we were asking about Mason for years. Like, why don't you play Mason? Why is he below Elijah Mitchell on the depth chart? And their answer was always just like, because I said so. Because that's the way it is. And then all of a sudden, Mason like becomes the starter because Christian goes down, and they're like, yeah, we always knew he could do it. It's just that he wasn't quite, dialed in the meeting rooms, and we didn't want to like reward poor study habits. So he needed to go through that to get to this spot. Like, yeah, sure. Get your best players on the field. Okay, Jordan James. What about Curtis? No, Marquis Siegel.
I like him. C+.
C, yeah. I mean, if you take him in round 3, F, but he started some games as a late 5th round pick. He can't cover, but I mean, he wasn't giving up a lot of separation. He was just getting mossed 5 times a game. I don't know. I mean, if he ends up being just a backup, like, that's okay. If he ends up being a starter, that's a great pick. I don't know that he's going to end up being a starter.
Yeah, I mean, time will tell. I don't hate him. I like him, so we'll give him the benefit of the doubt.
Curtis Rourke, incomplete, hasn't done anything. Connor Colby.
I like Connor Colby. B- in round 7.
7th round pick, potential starter down the line, maybe, at least backup. Better than Nick Sakel ever was.
The problem is there's no pass block. Yeah, he was not a good pass blocker in college. He was a good run blocker, and they can't run the football. So he's only been shown with like pass blocking, which is not a strength, right? So like we haven't seen. I think he'll end up starting at guard next year. So he has to, right? Do they have who's under contract at guard next year?
That's true, man. Ben Barch might play his way out of town with a couple good games. He might get $15 million a year. You see how these contracts go. Could be Connor Colby. It could be Drew Moss.